what's going to happen is you hooked up your TikTok, right?
Yep.
So you're going to have to go to the paired channels up in your right-hand corner.
Gotcha.
Click on your tiki-taki. It's sending data. It's going to take a second. It'll say TikTok live monitor. It's going to bring up your TikTok. And then that live chat, just pop it out and you'll have a little window that's going to sit somewhere on your computer where you're going to see your TikTok chat. Make sense?
If it works, we'll give it a shot, right?
It'll work.
Yeah, I lined it up for it to work, but it's sure not taking me there yet. Let me take me to live here.
It'll do it in a second.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, there's you. No, that's you. So,
it's me.
Yeah, there we go.
So
that was fun. I had the flu on Sunday.
What happened? Like you look great. I mean,
oh man, I gotta get my beard fixed. I can't believe how much gray hair this flu gave me. Like legitimately,
it'll do it to you, and that's my job is to keep you looking good.
Yeah,
Tasha, how's it going? So, look at this. We got regular people hanging out and ready to piss people off, which is what we do.
Well, you know, that's what we do best, right? We do that best. So
we do. Okay. How you feeling though? You were down like for the week.
Holy man, oh man! Like this is, you know, when I got COVID back in the day, it wasn't this bad. You know, this was bad.
So what's your ancient Chinese medicine for this?
You know what? There's for this one, try to breathe right now because the lungs are not working and the coughing is tough. But there is a secret recipe. It's not really even Chinese. It's it is Chinese. It's Ukrainian. It's German. It's the onion syrup. Have you ever seen that one?
Onion syrup? No.
Yeah, it's an onion cough syrup. So you take onion and you slice it nice and thin. Okay. You put one layer down in like a mason jar, and you cover it up with like a tablespoon or a tablespoon and a half of brown sugar. Okay. Then you put onion, then brown sugar, onion, brown sugar, onion, brown sugar. You let it sit. Okay. And it makes a really sweet lemony or a sweet oniony liquid that you just drink, and it clears up a lot of the crap, the coughing, and all that stuff.
Jesus, like
you'd like that. You're getting an onion guy.
I'm an onion guy because I'm Ukrainian. But I mean, we had our cure was chew down 2 cloves of garlic, chase it down with a shot of vodka, and then lay in a hot bath and sweat it out.
Oh, well, you know, that works too. But I would say try this onion one. Your kids might appreciate it.
They might.
Yeah, I got it upstairs. I've got it for my kids. Oh, we were gonna do that MSG challenge. God.
I don't think you've got it in you, man. Like we're
well, I wouldn't do it. I've done it. You know, yeah, but you know what? I'll come in for a cleanup sometime in the next few days.
I'll
bring some
gladly
MSG over for you.
Should I chase it with some soy sauce? How do you guys do it back home?
It's gonna be a lot of regret, man. And we'll live stream it or
I'll live stream it.
Video. Yep, absolutely. Of the reaction video of that. We'll start a new trend. The MSG habit.
The MSG
challenge. Okay.
Now, here's the thing. Will the MSG fly through me? Is this something that I'll instantly regret because suddenly I'm...
Oh, no, not at all. It's
like a fountain in a bad way?
So, like MSG in itself is just really a thing of it's a salt molecule bound with glutamate, like a glutamine molecule, right?
It's my favorite.
So, yeah, it means you use it it's like a pre-workout, technically, right?
Technically.
Yeah. So, I mean, you'd be pretty good with that. Oh, hey, it is working. Cool.
It's working. We got stuff. We got people chatting.
Yeah.
Oh God, what was I getting into? You know, when your kids, we'll get into this soon enough, but yeah, we're on Twitch now. Have you ever, your kids have, hey Roy, your kids have projects they have to do at school. Well, our son had to do what's called Tusk, which is a public speaking thing.
Okay.
And he did it on Jackie Robinson.
That sounds more like a fight to the death than anything.
Right. So he's doing it, and it's Black History Month, or coming to the end of it. And he's asking me, he goes, who should I do my Tusk on for Black History Month?
And what did you say?
I said, Lincoln Osiris. imagine the teacher if he did? They're watching 42 right now, so he's watching the story of Jackie Robinson.
You'd have to have him doing his monologue up at the front. For 500 years they've held us
Viet
down.
Congs to the left, Viet Congs to the right. It's Viet Cong. It's Ronnie Pearl.
So Jesus Christ!
Who's Lincoln Osiris? I go, well, he was a staff sergeant in the military.
A war hero.
A war hero. Okay, for everybody who has no idea who that is, if you've ever
pull the clip up.
I could do that.
We need to name your assistant who's going to do this for you. What are we going to call your assistant? Lincoln.
If I have an assistant,
Lincoln Osiris, pull it up.
Okay,
so Osiris.
Our son had to do I'm crying. What's called a tusk, which is a public speaking thing, and he asked me about someone.
Come on, boy.
So he asked me who I know if that was like a African American hero. So let's see if I can find this. Okay.
Can you play
it? I'm going here. Okay, so I said there's Staff Sergeant Lincoln Osiris, and let's show this for a second. Okay, guys,
Let's do it.
Teacher, and you had a grade 6 student present this because he believes this is some hero. Hang on, here we go. Here we go.
Come on, elevator up! Up! It's fine. You may get home now. Survive! I hope y'all like hamburger meat, because that's exactly what I'm going to be bringing back and serving up in this whirly bird. Cover me, you lip-dick fucker! Eat your food! I'll see you!
That's an amazing scene. That's a real American hero there.
So if you haven't seen Tropic Thunder, I encourage you to do it. Has everybody seen Tropic Thunder before I make a fool of myself?
Raise your hand. Everyone's seen it. I hope.
Right. So Robert Downey Jr. was oh my God. Like Kurt Lazarus.
Kirk Lazarus, yeah.
Who is a blonde-haired, blue-eyed actor.
Australian surfer or something. Actor, yeah.
Yeah, Bubba Gump. Bubba Gump should have got a shout-out.
That's fair, yeah.
And basically, Robert Downey Jr. was in blackface for the whole movie, and it's an absolute gem of a film. Like, you will be crying like we were. But, of course, I said, hey, what about Lincoln Osiris? Luckily, he went with Jackie Robinson, and I didn't get a call. But could you imagine being the teacher?
If it's a Gen X teacher, your teacher would probably be like holding back the laugh. And
you have to go with it.
I'm going to be talking to his father later on today. But
I'd say the guy was a warrior. Warrior.
But Kirk Lazarus, isn't that just like one of the classic examples of pure entitlement right there, right? Believing that the world kind of owes you something, right? You shouldn't get away with that, but he should. You should. No,
but the beauty of
skin black.
He did. It was a temporary,
experimental,
experimental, and it worked. But here's the thing: it's such a good movie, but the idea of that movie was great because it was the ridiculousness of somebody going through with that is the reason that it didn't offend many people.
I don't know. There's a whole sphere on TikTok that's offended by it too. Still,
really,
there is. Yes, you start looking on TikTok, you'll find people that are still offended about it, and he needs to owe an apology. And Robert Downey Jr. is like, "Nope, I won't apologize." Why would you apologize?
If 99% of the people like it and 1% is like, "I don't like it."
Yeah,
so
too bad.
Right?
Too bad.
No, it's but you're right. There's a there you go. Go and segue into what we're talking about is I can do what I want.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I'm better than everyone, or I've earned it, or something like that, right?
I swear to Christ, if I hear anybody, you know, when people walk into a room with that attitude of, "Do you know who I am?"
Yeah.
I instantly don't know who you are.
Yeah, exactly.
I will act like I've never heard of you ever in my life if that's the vibe you're giving off.
Yep. Yep.
And we get that. We get that with people our age.
Yep.
And there are kids that are doing it now.
Yep.
Like, where the hell is this coming from?
I remember I had a person that came up and told me, like, oh, so and so is complaining about your business, and you're doing everything wrong, you're a terrible person, all these sort of things. And I just looked at them and I said, who?
Yeah.
See, so they repeated who they were. I was like, who?
Yeah. Can't say I've ever heard of them.
Then she went, okay, yeah, I get it. It's like, yeah, if you're gonna yell at them or whatever, it's just giving them some power, right?
Hey, trust me, you want to talk shit about me, please do. But for Christ's sake, say my face.
Well, that's a thing, right? Like
Colleen's got a point. Bubba Gump was a war hero.
He technically was.
Those are shrimp company. Bubba, I don't know Bubba's last name.
I don't know. It wasn't
Gump. He knew every type of shrimp you could possibly eat. Yeah. You list it while he was scrubbing the floor.
Yeah.
Big upper lip.
Another hero. Another war hero.
They were heroes. I mean, if you could do fictional heroes, who's the number one fictional hero? And other than John McClane?
Number one fictional hero. Oh, that's a good problem. Samuel L. Jackson, Pulp Fiction.
But he was he a hero?
He lived.
He did live.
Oh, like
you're right.
Lived. Yeah,
you're right.
He was touched by God, man.
He was touched by God. Like he knew a Bible verse that didn't exist.
Didn't exist.
That Bible verse does not exist.
So good. He was so good that he made his own Bible verse.
He did.
Right? Yeah.
Christopher Reeve. You know what? I'd say Christopher Reeve.
It's really hard to say no to that one, right?
He'd be right up there with your Patrick Swayze's and your people that, there's no reason to say anything negative.
What do you mean, you people?
Did I say you people? What do you mean, you people? What do you mean, you people? We can sit here and quote. We can sit here and quote all night, but we're not going to.
No. So, because we'll never get anywhere tonight.
No. Okay. So here's why. This is how today's topic came up with the whole entitlement and disrespect that we see everywhere. I made the mistake of going down a rabbit hole of people yelling at the police officers when they get pulled over.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell are you doing? Yeah. Because these people, I'm saying these people, like, if you get pulled over for whatever reason, I'm the nicest guy you're ever going to meet when that happens. I'm like, here's my license, here's my registration, let's go on with the evening, sir.
Yep. What did I do? Did I screw up? Yes. No. Okay. If I screw up, okay.
Or a check stop. It's like, hey, it's a check stop. We're checking everybody's licenses. And when you get some idiot that's like, I don't have to show you shit.
No.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Get ready to turn a cough.
I didn't do anything. Am I getting charged? Like, when on earth did we get to the point where there are no authority figures in anybody's lives anymore?
Well, I guess it kind of came, up in Canada, we view so much of the American media, right? And American media has done such a good job of portraying law enforcement as some sort of crooked right-wing fascist regime or something, right?
There are instances for sure where things don't go right.
And it's like, seriously, these are literally law enforcement officers who were put into potentially some of the worst situations in the worst neighborhoods that people have ever, that you will never go into, right? And
right.
And being judged on their absolute best behaviors.
Yeah. Oh, Darren Darwin, when people stop getting punched in the face, stick around. Yes. We're going to talk about that's actually a point that I'm going to make.
Yeah, I have a good solution for world peace that follows that method, actually. So
Right. But you're right. I mean, but here's the thing. If you're not doing something wrong, why is there a problem if whether you get pulled? And I'm only using the police as an example because you see it on every news feed, on everybody pulls their camera out, and of course they show it at a point where it's already happening. Like why this has happened, and now suddenly you're the victim.
Yep.
And that's why I think like body cams are great because suddenly you've got it from the time this started till they pulled out their camera, and you can say, well, here's what actually happened. But when somebody has the audacity to lip back, like even I have officers, like police that are in my chair, I have clients, I have friends, and I said, I got a question. Let's just say someone robbed a liquor store or a store or whatever. And the description is a mid-40s bald guy, large in stature, with tattoos. And I happen to be walking down the street at the exact same time that this is happening. And you stop.
Yeah.
And I go, this is ridiculous. What?
Yeah.
I literally just bought buns at a bakery. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Only an idiot. Like, why wouldn't I be like, yeah, okay, I'll play along with this for a bit. Like, what's going on?
Exactly.
Like a normal human being would say, okay, sure. What's happening?
I do, you know?
Yeah, I got 20 minutes till I have to be somewhere, but what do you need?
But an idiot
knowing
would run.
that I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
What's that?
An idiot would run. And people do.
Yeah. So just say what you got to say. You need, sure, here's my number. Give me a call if you need someone that looks like the guy that apparently did whatever that happened. But if you literally look like the person that did what they did, sure, good explanation. I'm sure that could explain to you. But to lose your mind and be like, I didn't do nothing. I gotta be at work. Stop. Just stop for like 2 seconds here.
Yeah.
And it's not only that, but I have teachers. And I hear the same thing students.
Yeah.
Where the students don't listen to the teacher then to lip off a teacher or heaven forbid a principal.
Yeah.
Dude, that was another level.
Remember that day when your principal walks into your classroom, takes off his belt, and whoosh.
Well, you could hear every loop.
Everyone sits up a little taller. You know, everyone's butt cheeks. You could feel them clench up in unison.
I got it in grade 4. Mr. Stakilo, Henderson Elementary, because I was roughhousing in the playground. And it was hands on your desk, hands on his desk, a couple twacks across the upper thigh,
right,
and right back to class with your eyes welled up. Guess what I never did again?
Yeah, exactly. You very quickly learn that having some negative reinforcement is a very positive way to act for some kids.
Like consequences for your actions. By the way, since we're talking about respect today, I know that you can't because you're not feeling well. Or are you?
No, I am drinking a bubbly today.
Ooh, bubbly.
And as tempting as I was to drink some alcohol, I figured since I can barely breathe, maybe I shouldn't.
Maybe a Jim Beam would help you. So Jim Beam, and I just realized this.
I did think that actually.
Right. So I was just thinking about that today. The only time I really have a drink now is when we're doing a live stream.
Yeah, that's good.
Like the only time I really, it's like Deboja.
Cheers.
We're getting back to that. Like, so when kids are defiant, and that's happening at a young age. So no one's going to tell me what I can't do or can't say.
Yep.
Whiskey is the original medicine. I'll tell you what, whiskey is
firewater, good old firewater.
And here's the thing, Jay made me into more of a man because I was always mixing. Like I was rum and Coke, rum and diet, Ryan diet, and I'm not a big drinker. But I can't have him drinking straight scotch or bourbon and me sitting here with a mixed drink that should have an umbrella in it. So
just a Mai Tai.
Just a cocktail with 87 garnishes in it and a pineapple and like a burger.
Slice of pizza and a burger, yeah.
Actually, you know what? We're talking about that. What was the ultimate 90s drink at the bar?
Black Russian.
You can't believe you drank that. What?
Black Russian.
I was going to say paralyzers because they were talking about it on another show.
Yeah, paralyzer. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
You realize how much you drank and you would have a gallon of milk in your gut?
Yeah. Oh God. Actually, fish bowls. Any of those drinks in a fish bowl.
It's a bucket of booze.
Yeah.
Singapore sling. Oh, hey,
Oh,
Jay, you're Asian.
delicious.
What's in a Singapore sling?
Yeah, Singapore.
Right.
I guess.
Isn't that like a family
Secret.
recipe?
It's a family secret. So,
but you go back to people.
wrong
and I have a
ease,
list.
though. By the way, wrong ease.
Wrong ease.
A different country.
Is that the angry eyes or the tired eyes?
Oh, I don't know which ones those are actually. I don't. That's actually a good question.
Bahama Mamas. Oh my God.
Bahama Mamas.
Paralyzers were big at the bar back in the 90s. I was always a Ryan Coke guy. And yeah, White Russian or Black Russian. Were you Black Russian?
No, I didn't drink either of them. I tried it once and it was like, yeah, nope, that's just a lot of
cream and sugar.
Yeah.
The Unwinder Special. I turned 18 years exactly 30 years ago. Here's the funny thing. The Unwinder, we can go back and this will all tie into respectful behavior, right? The Unwinder, when I was 18, had something called penny a drink night. Do you remember that?
Yeah. I remember those nights. Yeah. I never went there for it, but I usually went to encounters or OCCs for that. Right.
So they would have for 1 hour, they would have Bud Light and Clamato juice. You know what? That's still a gooder. You don't like Clamato juice?
Oh, it's a special place in hell for the person who decided to take clams, tomato juice, and spice and mix it together for a drink.
Dude, I've seen your people eat live squid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Still, yeah.
But they had something called right. So they'd have something called penny a drink night, and for 1 hour of that night, it was a penny a drink, and provided that you tipped the bartender, they would keep coming back to you because everybody was crowded around there. So you give the guy $20 and suddenly he kept on feeding you drinks. So you would have one person running the drinks back to the table and one person ordering, and we just kept that chain going. And here's the thing, you would drink an obscene amount of alcohol that night. And if there was ever a fight, and that happened at the bar, it was between two people and two people only.
Yeah.
There was a certain amount of respect that came along with if your buddy talks some shit, he's got to get his ass out of it. You don't jump in, none of that stuff. And it was an actual fight. Like it wasn't this whatever you're seeing now.
Yeah.
And nobody jumped in. It wasn't a pile up. There was a little bit of respect that went back then as far as if you're going to talk shit, you're going to take care of yourself because no one was backing you.
Oh, exactly.
And that's changed.
Yeah, it's entirely gone now.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Like whatever happened to your ass makes there's a weird shooter at U of M with amaretto and Coke for $1.50 on Wednesdays. So gross. You know what a gross one was? And this is how we used to get people to throw up if they were just being too out of hand at the bar. Like if you were done and you kept on drinking, like, tell you what, I'll buy you a cement mixer.
Enjoy that. God. That picking those things over your teeth for the next hour.
It's a shot of Bailey's, and you had to hold it in your mouth. There's a shot of Bailey's and a shot of lime juice, and you had to shake it up.
Shake your head up, yeah.
It was like cottage cheese.
Oh, it was terrible. That was the worst thing ever. But great for when you really wanted to get your friend back when he's had too much.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Buy that shooter for him.
Oh, God. I miss those days. So
I don't miss those days because actually it was fun.
It was fun. I mean, it's not fun getting them, but it was fun to give them to other people.
What was the Barwell spills? Oh God. I was a bartender too. Did we call it buffalo water? It was bad. So when you're a bartender, you have this rubber mat that you just keep on.
Oh, yeah.
And you would pour that into someone's, and it was gross. It had everything in it. Yeah. And you just pour it into a shot glass and give it to somebody. We called it buffalo something at our bar. How you feeling?
That'd be
it would have everything in it.
Can't breathe.
But there's the thing though, if you did get that shot and you did get sick or it did end your night, you didn't go back and yell at the manager for it.
No, exactly.
You had it coming.
Yeah.
Memory lanes. I'm glad I grew up too, but I mean, it's nice to go back in time and say, wow, we survived that. And
Do
we
people
never
go to the bar anymore?
I don't know. Apparently the bars. Whoa, here we go. Back to
Whoa,
regular
hello.
programming. I firmly
What's
believe
going
there's
on
no
there?
accountability. Okay. The victim cancel culture mentality is stronger than the repercussion mentality. There's no consistency. There's no fear. If you're offended, you get to be offended that you're offended. I remember being a shit and getting my ass handed to me by a full grown man. And I was worried about him following me home and telling my mom that, than him actually beating my ass because I knew my mom found out. Okay, there you go. So the repercussions of your bad behavior. I believe that there are people that you can meet people that seriously have never been punched in the mouth.
Yep.
And probably
Yep.
should have at some point in time.
Yep.
And I also strongly believe that you do not understand, like if you've never been into a fight, and I'm not a scrapper, I was a bouncer. However, you do not know how to fight until you've had your ass kicked.
Oh, exactly.
Until someone's whooped you. Then you know to shut up when it's time to shut up.
Yep.
And I do believe that because everybody's a keyboard warrior now.
They keep chirping.
They keep
but
chirping.
Nothing ever gets done.
No, the fight never ends and it never begins. Like there's no fight there.
It's just like, you're not worth it. It's like, well, hold on. Yes, I am.
Please. Here's my address. Let's talk about this for 2 seconds in person. But
I mean, yeah, like the keyboard warriors. I remember I had made a video on YouTube, and I had some guy who was like, I don't know, from Jamaica or something, saying that he didn't like the video and he was going to come up and kill me and my family. And I was like, you are going to come here to where exactly? So I just said, I'll wait for you outside.
Yeah. See, I mean, you got to be able to deal with the chirpers, and I deal with that on social media all the time. And I'm not too worried about it because
no. What are you going to do? You're going to come over here? Exactly.
Yeah. But you have the victim mentality and lots of trauma bragging.
Yep.
That's a term that I love. It sucked when I was 7, so I'm an asshole now. Okay.
I got into one of those on Threads just the other day. Ever go to Threads?
Yeah, I've gone to Threads.
Yeah, it's kind of like X, but left-leaning. Instead of right passers, it's left victims.
Right.
So,
and the thing is, I don't doubt that people have parts of their past that make them who they are today. That's what makes us who we are.
Absolutely. Yeah.
However, if you're going to blame your bad behavior on everybody but yourself, you need to seriously look in the mirror.
Yep.
Like when you have kids that absolutely disrespect their parents, their teachers, and every authority figure. I did figure out who the only authority figure I believe there is in a kid's life other than their parents, where there should be their parents, but when they're not acting like authority figures. Who's the only authority figure that you think kids listen to right now? If it's not the parents.
Well, if not the parents, their friends.
That's not an adult.
Or their favorite influencer.
I would have said coaches. Like a hockey coach.
I don't know. Coach. Like some of the coaches nowadays, I don't know. Some of the stuff you see, it's they're just as as unwilling to do punishments as anyone else now.
Yeah,
not all of them. Like I know some good coaches who are, maybe we'll make them run for the whole hour, that sort of thing. But
I used to coach football. Yeah, you're gonna puke. Yeah, like that's what's gonna happen.
But you don't get that as much anymore, right?
And you should.
Yeah.
Like I believe that I became a better team player.
Yep.
Look at that shit storming on here, right? But I believe that I became a better team player by the consequences that were dished out to me during my football days.
You screwed up. Go do that. I want you to keep doing it. And if you puke, good for you. But if you want to stay here, you got to want it. And you got to suffer. And you got to make some sacrifice.
Right. And you're going to think about what you did. That doesn't happen anymore. Like,
no, a lot of times kids will just like, screw this, I'm out of here. It's like, okay,
you know what?
You're off.
Well, you're right. And Tash is saying, a teacher, here's the thing with that. Teachers, like you talked about the belt coming out. I remember the yardstick.
Yeah.
And it just had to get slapped on the desk. And that was enough to wake you up for whatever you were doing.
Yeah.
But these days, my little Billy would never. No, your little Billy did.
Yeah.
Right. And if you're going to defend your kid's bad behavior, good luck with the criminal that you're raising right now.
Yep.
Like, I remember, did you go to Massey?
Yep.
Okay. I remember falling asleep in social studies class. Now, by today's standards, this teacher would have been hung out to dry, but I learned a lesson. I remember in social studies class, I fell asleep when they were running. It was a movie. They had the projector came out and we were watching something.
Heads down, toast on that point. I'm done with that.
So
I'd be out.
I fell asleep, and instead of waking me up, he had the class quietly leave, and then the next class sat down.
That's good. Yeah.
It was Mr. Hill.
Okay. That's good.
And embarrassed, yeah. Would I tell my parents that happened? When I was a kickboxing or basketball, my coaches held me more accountable for my actions than anyone. Yeah. But you know what, Darren, that made you a better person. Like, it sucks, but you needed that. You need someone to be hard on you. And Mr. Hill, guess what I never did again? I never fell asleep in class again.
Yeah.
Because there were consequences for my actions, and all I was embarrassed. But by today's standards, that would have made the paper.
No, it probably, yeah, abandonment or whatever, right?
Oh, it would have made the paper. Oh my goodness, Roy, penny drink 9 to 9.45. There you go. Yep, it was cheap and it was probably watered down, but we drank it anyway.
Doesn't matter. It was cheap.
No, but you look at this, and there's always an excuse for it. Like, well, my kid, you should have woke him up. You know what? You're the teacher. Your job is not to parent or babysit. My job, as a teacher, is to teach your child the curriculum as prescribed.
Yes, exactly.
That's it. If I gave your kid all the time, if I gave your kid the same amount of time that every other kid had, he should be able to get the work done.
Yeah.
Right? But to have a kid lip off a teacher,
it's commonplace. Right? Like, it's not like all kids, but you're going to get some definite bad apples that can completely go uncontested for extreme amounts of time.
I had a teacher I was talking to today, and I'm going to ask you this, Jay. Who do you think the best behaved students are?
The best behaved? That's a good question. Probably the ones who have a little bit of fear of the teacher.
Think more home.
Oh, the ones that have better upbringing, better family, right? Parents that are there. Parents that are disciplining and having barrier or boundaries, but what's right, what's wrong, what's appropriate.
Okay. So when I asked him this question, it came down to there are two types. The most well-behaved kids in generally a school are rural. Yeah. So the kids that came from a small town where if your kid's the little asshole in a small town of 50, the dads would talk to each other, the parents talk to you, and they'd straighten this out. Right? There was a time when if you were being a tool bag, your dad would go, or somebody would come to your house and talk to your dad about it.
Yeah.
Now it'd be, are you threatening my husband? Yeah. No, I'm having a conversation with another grown man.
Yeah, exactly.
But when you have that small community where the kid's an absolute nightmare, well, do you want to be the one? Do you want to be the family that has that kid? You correct the behavior.
Yes.
And the other one, believe it or not, Asian kids.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
so congratulations.
Like small families, right? So
small families?
Yeah, usually usually.
Well, but I think it's
because
also
they come directly over from China, so they're only going to have usually one, maybe two.
Right. But I think it's that, and it's also the fact that maybe education is held in higher regard. Respect for your elders is left in higher regard. And I grew up where you respect your elders. Like, I'll tell you what, if I ever see a kid call their parent by their first names, I already know who's wearing the pants in that family.
Yeah.
Like, to this day, I would never call my parents unless we work together or something. We talked about that.
Well, that's different. Yeah, exactly.
It's different, but there's not a hot chance in hell. Like, whenever even with adults, if I'm hanging out with an adult who their dad happens to be there and that person's calling him Bob.
Yeah. That's just weird.
It tells
And
me that
you
it's been
lose
like
the
that for a
respect.
while.
Yes, it means the power struggle has, or the power difference thing has changed as well. So people look at very, very different.
And the thing is, as parents, we are the first authority figure that they have.
Yeah.
I was not allowed to call my parents by the hell no. I would be tasting the back right real quick if I ever dared do something like that. And I would deserve it.
Yeah. I remember one of my teachers asked me how to spell my mom's name, and I was like, oh,
Right?
I don't know.
You know how to spell your mom's name?
Well, now I do.
Oh, because it was just mom.
But back then, yeah, because it was just like, well, I don't know. I've not like I really had to look at it, write it down, or think about it, right?
No, that's just mom. Like
Yeah.
your mom is your mom, your dad is your dad. And I remember our son threw out a bruh at me one day. I'm like, pardon me. Did you just call me bruh? And you have two choices here. It's dad, father, daddy. I don't care what you want to call me. That's mom. I'm dad. Keep your stupid nicknames to your buddies.
Yeah.
And it's okay to put your foot down.
Yeah, it is. Yes, yeah, like you need the boundaries. You know, you need to be able to draw that line, right?
Right, but we also have those parents that their kids, and there's no doubt, my family is my world. However,
You want to see
they're
your
not.
world fester from within real quick, though.
Well, they're not going to get everything they want whenever they ask for it.
Yeah.
Does my world revolve around them? They're my top priority.
Yeah.
However, the center of universe is a very slippery slope when it comes to kids.
Exactly.
And a lack of consequences will breed terrible behavior to the point where if you have a kid that has the grapes to question somebody that has handcuffs and a firearm on their hip, and tell them how they're going to do their job.
Yeah, you've done something wrong in life here. Yeah.
What? Like, again, and as a kid, we've all done things. I remember pit parties.
Yep, of course.
Yeah.
Yep.
Trust me. If someone says, hey, and we didn't have cell phones, you saw the lights coming. You're like, oh my God, get out of here.
Yeah.
And pray to Christ that that you're not in the car that gets pulled over.
Yep.
And you left.
You know,
trust me. Go ahead.
I would love to hear the conversation of the police officers as they're coming to break up the pit parties. You know, because realistically, if they wanted to catch people, they would turn the lights off and just drive up slow, right? But they turn the lights off at a right point, right, to create that fear, right? So it's like, do it down. Should I turn them on now? No, hold on. Let's get a little bit closer. We'll really scare the crap out of them, right?
Right. But I think the point was we also grew up in that time when if those lights came, you scattered.
Yeah.
And you made yourself very quiet. You did not challenge them.
Oh, sorry.
And society goes, if the guy with the handcuffs uses them, guess who's in trouble? It's a slip. And that's the thing, Darren. Like, I have nothing but respect for the police because I've never broken the law. So I'm like, do what you got to do.
Makes it pretty good that way. Yep.
It does. You have to definitely. Here's the thing. They're in a position where any decision they make can affect their lives and the lives of everybody else that they're like, it can affect both sides forever.
Yeah.
So the amount of judgment that has to happen is going to be quick.
No, if you do the wrong thing to the wrong person, even as a cop, guarantee somebody's going to be coming after you on your off days or stopping by your house or something like that.
But here's the thing. What if you do the right thing to the wrong person?
Yeah, that's going to be equally bad too.
So I do think that there's that judgment call that has to happen, and it's instant. It's now, and tip of the hat to those guys because every day they're dealing with it. And here's the thing with teachers too. Teachers, they make a judgment call to punish or not to punish. And I mean, a teacher could get written up because this kid is failing their class, though the kid hasn't done jack in 6 months.
Yep.
Authority is under heavy scrutiny because there's no accountability. I have accountability on what side, Darren? Because I believe
which way?
I believe that if you stream greatly, I'd love to join. Kendra, you know what? Send me a whisper. I'd like to talk to you, and we'll see if we can get you on one of these days. She's new, or he's new. Kendra,
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's a girl. Authorities under heavy scrutiny because there's no accountability. Which side? Like, I think if you mess up and you're in that position, again, I'm using teachers and police because those are two authority. Have me on Discord. You know what? Because I'm such an idiot, I have no idea what the hell. I don't have Discord. I know I'm that guy. Send me something on Twitch.
It's a good thing we're even here. Jeez.
I know, but if you talk to no accountability for bad, you're right. There's no accountability in bad behavior. Like, hey, Darren, let's just say you and I get into an argument somewhere. I'm clearly in the wrong. I'm the guy that pushed your buttons to the point where you had no choice but to do something about it. And then you take a pop at me. Whose fault is this? It's mine. It's mine because I pushed you to the point where you need to do something about it.
Right.
And you're going to be the one that's going to get in trouble.
Charged. Yep. Assault.
Right. I mean, there was a time when you could have two consenting adults getting into a fight because you called me on.
Oh, yeah. After school behind the church, right?
It was louder. After school or 3 o'clock by the bike racks. Yep. And you would have that fight. And the louder guy is the problem always. If there's one thing I learned about working in bars and some fairly rough ones, I've never seen a person start a fight and win. Ever. I've never seen the guy start it and win it. I always see the other person defending themselves and ending up on top, or it gets broken up. So, the louder guy is probably the problem. But there was a time when you and I, or you, Jay and I, I'm not going to pick a fight with Darren, but let's just say you and I decided we're going to get into a fight. You and I could consensually get into a fight with each other as long as we're fine with this.
Yeah.
And
you're not taking things too far, right?
No.
Boot stomping and stuff, right?
Hockey rules apply. Once you're down, it's done.
Yeah.
And that's the way it used to be. But if
they start curb stomping and just trying to break the person down to nothing.
But here's the problem. Could you imagine if I played victim? Like, let's just say Darren and I, this fight that we're in, let's just say I pushed him to the point where he decided to crack me one and I had it coming.
Yeah.
And then for me to cry victim.
Yeah.
He hit me. Do you know what happened for the 4 minutes before he actually wound up and cracked me one? I had it coming. Like, that accountability is the problem where we don't. You made your bed, you're going to have to sleep in it. Your dad used to tell you that. At least my dad did. You made your bed.
Yep.
You better sleep in it. But that's gone. And when you have people that have you have a lack of consequences. You have people that are yelling at cops, yelling at teachers, senior abuse. I couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine somebody taking advantage of a senior citizen. And I'm not saying it didn't happen 20 years ago. Back in the day, a fight ended after the fight. You're right, Darren, because everybody videos this thing and puts it out there. Like, I'm picking on Darren, because I'm going to act like we just got into a fight. But if you and I got into a fight, and let's say it's high school, and you and I had one at the bike racks at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
There was a damn good chance that we'd end up being friends after that.
Yeah. You got it all out. It was like, I hit you, you did better than I thought, or whatever the heck it was, and then you just sort of end it, right?
But suddenly there's some respect between the two of you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
When you look like a target originally, and because I'm lighting up your stream, but there was a time when you would get into that fight, you didn't like each other, you didn't respect each other, you fought each other, there was a good fight.
Yeah.
Suddenly you guys are even. Like,
yeah. There's
that respect that happened.
You get to the point where it's like, I don't even know what triggered the fight anymore, because it's all spent. That anger, that energy, it's all used up. And it's like,
it didn't matter.
You're exhausted. It doesn't matter anymore. It's, you're bruised and tired, exhausted. I'm bruised and tired, exhausted. It's like, are we done?
And the funny thing is, fights only lasted like 2 minutes. There wasn't much to a fight back then.
No.
And actually, I'm going to share a very proud dad moment that I had, because your kids are sponges, right? They're going to take your habits, your mannerisms, and your sayings. What happens when in grade 2, a girl hits me in grade 2 and I hit her back and her parents get called? Okay, Tasha, is this when you're in grade 2, or like some kid in grade 2 hit you and you're a 20-something-year-old adult?
Exactly.
Yeah, we have to know exactly what happened there.
Yeah, you got to be very clear on it, because it could change things a little bit there.
It could. So my kid, again, he's 11 years old and he has a 9-year-old sister. And there is a bully. And her daughter's an easy target. She's very mild, very soft spoken. Now, I do not condone violence. However, I do encourage sarcasm, which is kind of in my nature.
Yeah.
And
I actually encourage violence.
He came to me one day.
That's me.
Well, I was putting him to bed and he goes, "Hey, Dad, I did something in the schoolyard today." I'm like,
"Oh,
what?"
Okay. Yeah.
He goes, "Well, somebody was picking on Bo." I'm like,
right.
Oh, and I hate to say that there could possibly be a kid that's like 9 that's a little biatch, but
yeah,
there's a mean girl, right?
Yeah.
And I go, "What did you do?"
Yeah.
To a 9-year-old girl.
Yeah.
He goes, "Well, I happened to be walking by and she was picking on her saying, 'Oh, you think you're tough, which she doesn't would ever think she's tough." And I go, "Yeah, get to the point where you did something. What did you do?" He goes, "I leaned over her shoulder and said, 'Finish that sentence.'" Which is what I say to them.
Yeah.
If they're saying something, you're gonna be like, "Finish that sentence. Let's see where this gets you." I go, "What happened?" He goes, "She left." I'm like,
that's a win.
Bravo.
That's a win.
You called her on her shit.
Yep.
And just whispered it. Like, I wish I was there to see that, but all he said was, "Finish that sentence."
Yeah.
Kid, you
figured
it out.
A little bit of a Batman voice too, right?
Yeah. Finish that sentence. But again, teach your kids how to handle stuff, right?
Yep.
Teach your kids to spot a bully, teach your kids to spot disrespect, and axe it right then and there. Because their daughter would never say it.
Here's a funny thing. When my girls were really young, Ange had them out at a store getting something, and this lady comes up, just random lady, no idea who she was. She comes up, she goes over to the little girls. They're 2 and 4, so just tiny at that point in time. And she goes to them, "Oh my goodness, aren't you the cutest little things ever?" Right? And naturally, 2 and 4, they kind of steer away from the lady who's giving them too much unwanted attention, right?
Stranger danger.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Well, kind of, and the lady all of a sudden goes, "Oh, that's right. You can't trust strangers. Stranger danger, stranger danger. You got to be away from those strangers, right?"
Right.
And Ange looks over at them and she goes, "We don't really prescribe by that thought process. We want them to be out to have normal human interaction so that they can really see psychopaths or whatever, people that are the red flags."
Right.
So the people who are dangerous, right? And then the lady got quite upset. "No, you can't do that. You have to be safe. Don't you realize there's people everywhere trying to steal your child?" And Ange was like, "Then why did you start conversation with my children?"
Exactly.
Exactly. So this is a good learning experience for our girls to see this is not normal, right?
What's normal is being able to hang on. I'm gonna jump back and forth. Darren, you're right. The kid deserves some ice cream. I gotta take him to Twisters.
Yeah.
I keep on forgetting. They actually really like it. It's so good. Like, Christ. And here's the thing: I'm like leaning down like crazy. But if I go to Twisters, I'm going to turn myself into a monster in there. Because have you ever eaten their ice cream sandwiches? They used to have them there. God damn, they were good.
I have one of those. You know what you need as a sponsorship button? Like the It's Easy button.
Yeah.
And get the sponsors to read something from their company or whatever. So whenever
hey, Darren,
you just
Darren, you want us
Twisters ice cream.
You know what we could do? Hey, Darren, you want us to do a live stream from Twisters? We could do that.
Well, that'd be fun.
Set up in there in an ice cream shop, like we know what we're doing.
Yeah.
Just cover each other with whipped cream and being awkward.
Oh, that'd be interesting, eh? So eat it slowly.
But again, kids should be able to talk to adults, and adults shouldn't be creepy as hell. And I don't believe there's that many I don't believe there's that many. I believe that most people are good. Okay. I don't believe the world is as dangerous as people say, because for the most part, people are good. Q after dark, right?
Yeah.
But I think that we've put this fear into people that you can't trust anybody. And I do understand you have to be careful. There's no doubt you have to be careful.
Absolutely. But if we overly protect our children, how do they ever get to recognize what the dangerous people are, right?
Well, and the thing is, if they think the world, but on the other hand, if they think the world's incredibly safe, then they're going to be very
Very easy.
disrespectful
Yeah.
to everybody.
An easy life
And
means they can do whatever the hell they want, right?
right. And we're going into this like, and it's not only kids. Like, have you ever seen these people freaking out in stores?
Yep.
Like at Walmart,
Oh,
falling on the floor and having a
okay.
fit because their
Here's a dumb
Twizzlers
one.
were open.
You'll like this one. Okay.
Okay.
So during the music, the band concert for Waverly Park. Okay.
Right.
So I bought tickets, and I
Yeah.
had too many tickets. Right. I had bought one extra ticket or something. Right. Because Ange couldn't make it. She was working. So I got there, and they had an opportunity that if you had an extra ticket, you could give it back to the box office, and
Sure.
someone else could have the ticket, so you can donate it to somebody else.
Yeah.
So okay, good. So I'll go over to that, and there's a lady, two ladies there, and they were losing
Speak your
their
mind there.
mind. They were just completely losing their mind because they wanted to get a ticket, and this other family cut in front of them trying to get the tickets to them and everything. And that's not what happened at all. But
Right.
these two ladies, they wouldn't let it go. So they're like 5 feet away, and they're just beaking this family, right?
Right.
And the family's like, like, no, like that's not what we're trying to do. We're just trying to figure out how do we do this, and they're just beaking them
Sure.
off and everything. And I just looked over, I was like, go away, like, gee, well, just go away. Like, relax to the other family, don't worry about it, they'll just go away. And to the other one, just like, leave, go away, right? And the other family was happy that, okay, thanks for someone standing up to me. But the lady kept on beaking them off. So finally they go, the box office goes, they've got one ticket. Do you want to give it to that lady so she can get in? And I went, no, I'll give it to the other guy.
And you shouldn't feel bad saying that. You shouldn't feel
No.
bad saying no. No,
Not
give
at
it to
all.
the decent people out here.
Exactly.
Like, you're right. Hold them accountable. Like, Tasha saying she always watches around has had to walk to elementary school. You know what? I walked from Marquee down to Massey every day, and I never thought twice about my surroundings. Like, I'm sure if someone stole me, my parents were like, "Oh, good, there's more dinner for everybody else." But it was a different time. Like, it was a much different time when we didn't worry about that stuff. And I'm sure that it happened. And heaven
Don't bring
forbid
him
it
back
ever
till at least he's 18 so we can kick him out again.
right? Hold them accountable. So that's not only disrespectful to the person at the box office and you who just donate a ticket, but there was what happened to your own self-respect? Like, to be
Right.
that person, like, when did it become a badge of honor to be a Karen in front of people?
Exactly.
Apologies to
over a
any Karens in the
$10
crowd.
ticket from a
Okay?
lack of your personal planning. Like, seriously, piss off.
Right. You're someone else is the problem because you, the customer or the Karen, I'm going to use Karen. Karen got it wrong. The manager's the problem.
Yep.
What? Like, remember when you used to be, you try, that's the attention they want. Why would you want the kind of attention?
That's like the worst. Well, it's because he got some daddy issues or something, right? In that case.
Dude, there are some people, like, there are people out there
Those people.
those people, let's put Karens as those people. Like, I think we all agree that we can call Karens those people, or Chads. I was at a pharmacy this week the pharmacist was being so derogatory towards pharmacy tech as I picked up my daughter's eye drops. Yeah. When you see some sort of a management position really being a asshole to a staff member in public, like, there's a time when you pull your staff member aside and say, hey, we need to talk about this. You don't do it publicly. Like, if you're going to dress me down in front of people, get ready for a bark back. Like, don't do that.
Yeah.
And actually, did you ever see Old Dads with Bill Burr?
No, I haven't seen that, but I've seen some clips of it. That looks crazy good.
Yeah, when he says it to the lady running the daycare. He's like, I'm sorry.
Exactly.
If you're gonna, and he calls her, he drops the C-bomb on her, and the kid's like, what's that? He's like, someone who freaks out because I'm 2 minutes late picking you up. Like, if you're gonna dress me down, don't do it in front of my kids, don't do it in front of my wife, don't do it in public. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
But when you have somebody that somehow gets a rush out of being right, no matter how wrong they are, like, here's what I do. Whenever I see that kind of behavior in public, I look at the left hand. What am I looking for? I'm looking for a wedding ring. I'm like,
Yeah.
holy shit.
Yeah.
Somebody's married to this.
Yeah.
Someone's going home to this every single night and is living with
Someone's
this.
life is worse. Yeah.
Right. But you've got these people, and when they get some sort of rush out of belittling people, being disrespectful to people, there was never a good time for this. And if you go, I would say it's the last 15 years.
Yeah. I told a friend of mine that there has never been a time in history where people are able to use their victim status to gain power over another. Right?
Ooh, there's a
Because
can of worms.
historically, if you were the victim, you were probably either run out of the village or you were killed off or something, right? But now it's like, no, we got to bind together and protect those people at all costs and actually give them more to elevate them to a higher position of power. Oh,
Yeah.
what a terrible idea.
Yep. Yeah, why is it that if you work hard and you're like everybody, capitalism, right? Oh, capitalism's horrible. Tell you what,
Evil.
you do it then. You start a business. You try to do this. You're telling me it's easy? Please put your life, Darren, if you're still on there, I'll tell you what, and yourself and myself, you think it's easy to be the boss? Please try it. Please put everything in your life on the line, and you're banking on everybody else to help you achieve this.
Well, the number of times I've talked to people who, they want to be inspirational or whatever, right?
Sure.
They want to be leaders.
Okay.
That's all they want to be as leaders. It's like, no, that's not what you want at all. If you were a leader, you'd be doing the work regardless of whether there was a person there or not. You want to be a manager. You just want to tell people what to do and have everyone listen, and you go, hey, it's all working out good.
Right.
It doesn't work that way. That's like 1980s philosophy, and it doesn't work.
You're absolutely right. Like I'm going to go to Darren because he's in a position where, tell you what, if you were running your businesses and just running them as a manager, you would have no idea how to do the things that they're doing for the most part.
Yeah.
Darren, I would believe if for some reason his staff, everybody got, I don't know, what's the worst thing everybody could get at one time? Diarrhea. And they can't be at work that day. He would go and do everybody's job that day because he knows how to do it.
Yep.
Without sweating it, he would just do it. This work has to get done. I can do everything that everybody does.
Yep.
If you're the kind of person,
but you can do it.
Right. Like if you had somebody that couldn't come to the clinic, you could do whatever, you could fill in, right? Yep. That's what a leader does. A leader takes the reins and I got this, and doesn't play the, oh my God, nobody came in, I can't get anything done. Sure, you'd have to cancel some stuff and move some stuff around, but you wouldn't just shut it down and say, well, my minions aren't here, so what the hell am I supposed to do? I need to sit at my desk.
I've seen businesses do that.
Yeah.
Like I've 100% seen businesses do that. And when it comes down to it, they kind of go, oh, well, it was hard. Yeah, imagine that. But
it's never easy.
In business, in the world of smaller micro or nano businesses, people are kind of going, well, it should be easy. I should be passionate. I shouldn't be doing these hard things. I should just be opening the door and people coming in to see me and just giving me all their money, right?
Oh,
seriously, come on, guys.
You know what's funny? Darren is saying exactly what I think we've talked about. I get it. Sometimes I envy the people that go to work at 9, leave at 5. They got paid for the whole time, and then they go home and forget about it.
Yep. That'd be wonderful.
You want to see? Yeah. How wonderful would that be?
Oh my God.
No matter what I do and how shitty I might be at it, I'm going to get paid.
Yep.
Like, wow, that would be awesome.
So today, for example, what time was I done today? I worked from 8 till about 2:15. No, about 2:15. Okay. So not terrible. Not a long day. Now I've got to go write payrolls. Now I've got to do payroll. So 13 paychecks. That's going to take a while, right?
There's work to be done.
Exactly. But I still would get people who go, oh, must be nice. You get to go home early and take it easy for the rest of the day.
For love of God, please take my place for a day.
I sure am. I sure am.
And I was talking to somebody yesterday and I said, if you had to look at my schedule, like if all you did was watched my cameras at our property, you would see me walking like 4 a.m. I leave, I go to the gym. I come back. I come back into my shop. I get that thing ready for the day in case I got people coming into my shop. You will see me going in taking the kids to school. Then after that, I'll come back from taking the kids to school, and then you'll see me like dressed like in professional gear.
Yeah.
Out the front door, in my car, gone. And then you'll see me come back through the front door, change, go out the back door into my shop.
Yeah.
And it's like a constant changing. I won't complain about it
You need
because that's what
breakaway
I've chosen
pants
to
is
do.
what you need.
Dude, breakaway pants were the shit.
Yeah.
How come they
Just
don't do that? They need to do that with jeans.
Yeah.
But again, let's get back on track. When you talk about people that are absolutely defiant and people that are just assholes, hang on, there are assholes in the world. That's
Totally, there are. Yeah, there's not a lot of them. There's only like about a dozen, but they move around a lot, so you keep running into them.
Right. So you're a man of health and medicine. Okay.
Right.
I want you to tell me what the disorder is. It's called OD. What's ODD?
Odd.
What's ODD?
It's oppositional. It's
You're right, Darren.
ODD. It's opposing authority.
Oppositional defiant
That's
disorder.
the word I'm looking for. Yes, oppositional defiant disorder. Yeah.
Now it's a disorder.
Yes.
And I'm going to read you what it's called, what it is. Involves frequent anger, irritability, arguing, defiance towards authority, and spiteful behavior, including seeking revenge.
That sounds like every 28 days of the month.
Right. Dude. Yeah, it's Shark Week. You got to be careful. The exact cause is unknown, but it's believed to be a combination of biological, genetic, and environmental factors. Now I'm going to spin to this screen and say these emotional behavior issues, symptoms, where we go. When to see a doctor. So it can be the way you're brought up, which I believe is most of it.
Yeah.
But if you're defiant and you're constantly, and that has never been taught out of you. Like, I believe that we can learn how to get past barriers. If you're,
yes.
Okay. Guess what I had when I was a kid? I had a stutter and a speech impediment.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. And you can get over that too.
Right. So I was in speech therapy classes at the age of 5, I believe. And to this day, and my stutter was bad. I couldn't say R's, W's, or couldn't I say R's, W's, or S's properly? And I stuttered. I remember to this day walking on a balance beam, just talking. That was my therapy.
Okay. Yep.
I didn't think about what I was thinking about this, not that. And I got past that. And that's how I learned my way out of something. Right. So if you have a kid who's a defiant little tool bag, like back in the day, we get our attitude adjusted. And it wouldn't happen again. Like I still remember calling my dad Pops one day.
Yeah.
Pops. He's like, what the hell did you call me? And all I had to have is the look and the drop in tone. And that was enough. I never called him that again. It was Dad. Sorry.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny to call him Pops. He's like, unacceptable behavior.
Yeah.
But what's unacceptable behavior anymore? Like I said, if you have a guy who's if you have a guy, a girl, or whoever who's going to lose their shit on an authority figure in the world, well, guess what? If that happens from birth to 18, and now this thing is out in the world, running their lives, doing their thing, what do you think is going to happen?
Oh, yeah.
They're not going to hold
things.
a job.
Wonderful things are going to happen. They're going to be a wonderful beacon of society. No, they're going to be that idiot who opposes anyone telling them to do anything. Right?
How the hell do you exist in life when you do that?
You don't. You get over real quick, you adapt, or you stay in your parents' basement and play video games until 3 a.m. every night until you're 50. And we see that. I know people who are maybe not 50, but some are 50, living in a parent's basement still.
Right.
So social anxiety or whatever it might be.
Okay. You want to get into that? I'll open that can of worms for you. Social anxiety. It has a lot of different faces. You know me as well as anybody else. I travel in large groups of one.
Yep.
I'm very comfortable in my zone. I can, if I have a purpose, I'm fine. If you have me, I can MC something, I can host something, I can do, you give me
Yep.
a reason to be there, I'm there. You put me in a crowd of people to mingle, not a chance. I
Yeah.
am clawing at the doors. I do not want to be there.
Do you know
And
how
that's
many clients I have, young kids and high dose anti-anxiety, antidepressant pills? Okay.
right.
And talking to them, I'm like, so you have anxiety and everything? And they're like, yep, it's bad. It's really bad. Okay. So like, how bad is it? Oh, it's really bad. It's terrible. It's terrible. Okay. So that's fair. It's fair. You're 16. You've done a lot,
Right.
right? So what gives you the anxiety? What gives you those fears? What gives you these problems? And it's always, like seeing new people, doing new things, going to new places. I was like, oh, so life
Life.
experiences giving you trauma, right?
Right.
And they're like, oh yeah, so bad, so bad. It's like, well, I kind of get anxiety of going, like, you think it's bad coming to see me firsthand? I got to meet like how many new people every freaking day?
Right.
That's much worse, right?
Right.
And I had to perform, right? So I get anxiety too. And they always go, oh no, not as bad as mine. Mine's much worse than yours. Like, oh, okay, can we get objective about this here? In what way is yours worse than mine here? It's just, I recognize the fact that it doesn't really service me anyway.
No, and when you use that as the excuse to not do the things you need to do in life, like
Yep,
I could easily say I'm not going to do X, Y, and Z
yep,
because I get anxiety in certain situations.
yes,
However, give me a job to do.
yep,
I'm there. No problem.
yep.
But I also know that if I don't do the things that I need to do, then I cannot live the life that I want to live.
That's
The
it.
consequence for me
Yep,
not doing things is that my life sucks.
yep.
And then I have anxiety and depression because my life sucks because I didn't do
Hmm.
the things I need to do. And I know it's not that simple. And trust me, I am not.
This
Oh,
isn't
hey,
a shot against mental illness or mental issues that are, diagnosed, undiagnosed, or troubles that other people are having. It's just, it's just a conversation that kind of needs to happen a little bit more for people
it does.
to actually open up what what this means.
Right. And if you sit there in a victim mentality for your
Yeah,
entire existence, then you're going to blame everybody and lash out at them. And this is where
yeah,
you get possibly people being complete dill holes in
yeah,
public to people that are just doing their job or
yeah,
people that are serving you or whatever. And I mean,
yeah,
I was in the service industry for years. I was a waiter, I was a bartender, and we're doing the best we can, right?
yeah.
And I think is I can call it out too because I worked in restaurants and trust me, if oh, got your grace with I keep on forgetting her full name. But remember the girl that worked in the porn shop? She's on our
Yeah.
TikTok feed right now.
Ah,
She's
hey, there
awesome,
we go.
right? So here's the thing. If you live in this where's it going with this? Oh, we're working in the service industry. So
Yep,
people screw up. Life happens.
yep,
And as a guy who was in the service and you worked in restaurants too,
yep,
if my meal comes out before my appetizer,
yep. That's a problem.
you did I know that you didn't punch in the appetizer because cooks aren't picking
Exactly.
and choosing what they're doing, right?
They're not the cooks are not trying to make it difficult for the server, because last thing we want ever was to have a server distracting us from doing our job.
Or to have to rush an appetizer out because you got 80 other
Yeah,
orders, right?
because the appetizers are
So
a real pain in the ass to make.
if that happens, you know what? I get it. I don't want the appetizer after my meal. I'm fine with that.
Yep.
I hold my kids to such a high standard which I feel is just the way I was raised. Tell my older kids all the time, if you listen to the lessons I'm teaching you, you will learn from my mistakes. Darren, I love the fact that you're a dad, parent, whatever we're supposed to call people these days. I don't know what I'm supposed to say. Share your mistakes with your kids and they will learn from them. Absolutely. But again, going back to the food thing, if that happens and my app didn't come out, it's not the end of the world. It's not
Yep.
worth me asking for a manager and losing my shit. I will say,
Exactly.
hey, you know what? We're good. Just take it off the bill. I'm happy. And
Yep.
I remember there was a kid, we were in Minot, and it's a little bit different down there because if they screw something up, it's coming out of their pocket.
Yep.
Right. So I remember we were at this restaurant. It was the Longhorn Steakhouse.
Yep.
Which is fantastic. And this kid was such a great waiter, and they're getting paid shit. And we got our meal, the appetizer didn't come, and he's like, oh my God, I'll get it. And it'll be comped. Well, here's the thing. If they have to comp something off of your bill, it's coming off of his check.
Yep.
That's how it works. I said, no, it's fine. It's fine. The meal came out anyway because he has to serve the dinner or the appetizers. So the apps came to like whatever it was, $25 or 30,
Yep.
whatever it was, right? And I knew that it was comped, which I knew that it was coming off of his check. So I added 25 plus an additional tip and a hefty one because he admitted that he's like, I'm sorry, I didn't punch in your appetizers and they're coming, but they're going to be off the bill.
Yep.
Some people would lose their shit on that poor waiter who made a simple mistake.
Yep.
And
I want more free food.
Yeah. I want my dinner free. Why?
Yep.
Why? You're going to disrespect. And this kid is 19 at best.
Yep.
Trying to make a few bucks. I won't do that. I can't do that. I would never do that because he did his best. He made a mistake. People are allowed to make mistakes, and you shouldn't be able. Society should not be able to chew someone out. For a simple misstep.
Exactly.
Now that's not a green light for him to do that all the time, but I will guarantee you that he walked away from that night.
Kind of going, I won't be making that mistake again.
Right. But I was nice about it. I said, hey, you know what? I think I know how this works here. What were these worth? And I made sure that he wasn't going to be punished for it because he made an honest mistake, and it was busy as shit. And I get it. But when people have the audacity to absolutely disrespect people in public, I'd hate to see what they're like in private.
We went to a restaurant. I won't even say which one because I don't need any bad press or anything about that going on to it, because it wasn't a bad restaurant. It was kind of bad management and management wasn't there. That was one of the issues.
Right.
So we sat down. Okay. We ordered our food. And we waited, 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 and we kept waiting. And we're going like, this is like 45 minutes here. Like the place isn't super busy. And I'm looking at the server. I'm trying to catch her eye, trying to catch her attention. And you can see she's actively avoiding us at this point in time.
That's
I'm
different.
like, oh, there's a mistake. They've lost our order. They've 100% lost our order. So finally, we flagged someone else down who would come and talk to us. I'm like, where's our food? Where's our order? We haven't received it at all. So the person goes behind the counter, and you can just hear them go, what do you mean you lost their order? Right? And so the other person comes back, and she goes, we're really sorry. We're making a new order for you. It's just going to be a few minutes. It's expedited. It'll be right out. Okay. And then our server comes back to us. She goes, hey, just really sorry. Like the order got misplaced. Oh, so now you're going to lie about it.
Just apologize.
Now you're going to lie. So we never talked to her for the rest of the night. We never had her at all. She never came back to the table again. Our food came to the table, the appetizers and everything. And then the server came back in. I guess she was like the shift manager. And she goes, no, don't worry for paying for anything. It's all comped.
Right.
And I was like, whoa, I'm not okay with that.
Right.
Because that's coming off the restaurant's back end there.
Right. So there are people out there though, Jay, that would say, you bet your ass you're going to pay for my meal.
Yeah, exactly.
The
So
owner
we were like, no, we're not going to be paying. We'll be paying for this order. Like, no, it's all comps. Don't worry about it. I'm like, no. Like I had a couple beers. My wife had a drink. The girls had drinks. We ordered, I think it was like 3 pizzas, like just small pizzas or whatever. And, it was like, no, we're not okay with this. Plus the appetizer, right? So it was crazy.
Right. Now explain to me, and maybe somebody in chat if somebody in chat can explain this to me, when does losing your shit in public help things?
Yeah. When does it actually get you what you want? And do you feel good about getting it from that method?
There are some people that do.
Yeah. Some people just want to watch the world burn.
Some people like to play that I'm better than you. I'm making your life a little more miserable, and I get some joy out of that. like the amount of, I don't know what the word is. What's the word? Is it masochism? When you really want to punish somebody for no reason?
That's
What's
sadism.
the word?
Sadism.
Sadism. So you feel joy in the pain of others.
Yep.
And I can't, Tash, and I've been in situations where I'm frustrated for sure because things aren't moving along fast. But here's the thing, I have no idea how long this is supposed to take. Do you? How long is this supposed to take?
Yep.
It's not fast enough for me.
Yep.
Like if you can't get in for, I'll use a clinic as a great example, Jay.
Take
If
your
my
expectations away, you know. So,
if my back hurts now,
yep.
yet you're booked until April,
June.
well, I can't get mad at you for that. Like I get it.
Yep.
As soon as
It's
I
just
get
what
it,
it is.
you got nothing today. If I had something today, trust I would put you in today.
Exactly.
Right. But it's never good enough.
Yeah.
Nothing's good
Exactly.
enough. And they're going to go to another clinic and another clinic, and another clinic until they finally get someone who just says, yeah, I guess we can get you in for half an hour, but I need an hour.
Yep.
Holy shit. We
Yep.
just got you in to help you, and you need more. It's never enough.
I've literally had people say, reschedule your whole day for me. I'm coming in for an appointment and I need it today.
Right.
And I'm like,
Dude,
no.
There was no way in hot hell I would ever expect it. Like I have to get like a hearing test and a vision test. And I don't expect to get that today. Not even
Yep.
close. Book that shit long ahead of time. Hey, JT in from South Korea. Jay. Or people think their shit don't stink. You're right. There's a lot of people like that. Kinds of people that chew others out are usually the same type of people who expect respect when the shoe's down the foot. We need to understand the situation that everyone has their own issues and problems. I agree with you. And again, JT, the other side of the planet is where he is right now. You know he lives in South Korea, right?
Seriously.
Yeah.
I think
Jason
I knew
Teal.
that. Yeah.
And here's the thing, JT and I worked together at Boston Pizza back in the day. Like
You must have been there just before I was there.
On 34th Street.
Yeah.
When it was there.
Yep. I was there in 02 and 03.
I think we were there earlier than that. JT might know better. I think it was 90. It was before 2000. But okay, prime example. After the bar crowd, we got 9 people sharing pizza bread. 1 pizza bread, 1 dip, and like a water.
I guess.
Hey, where's my pizza bread? I'm like, dude, it's coming. You're hammered.
Yeah.
Like, chill out for a minute.
Relax. You know,
be happy. We're
sober up a little bit.
You're sitting here smoking cigarettes and drinking water. Chill out for a minute. People that chew you out for something, and the next day they do. Why? Like, again, absolute disrespect. There was a time when guys were gentlemen.
Yep.
And we talked about this last time.
Yep.
You wanted to be respected for being respectful, right?
Yep.
And ladies were
had certain grace. Yeah, they were more elegant. Yeah,
there was some more grace to them. Yeah. And I'm not saying there's a type, but let's say I was looking for a type. If you were to describe the guy who would be the guy chewing someone out, we're going to go with the guys first.
They call them Chads, don't they?
Chad is the guy that I believe would be flipping out on a police officer that pulls him over for.
He's got his pit vipers and everything, right? So
pit vipers, Monster Energy drink, muscle shirt, no muscles, and a jacked up diesel. Yeah, and probably a girlfriend named Mackenzie with an H at the end that has a mysterious bruise on her arm for some reason all the time. That's Chad. That's the guy that's going to be like, I didn't do nothing. What are you going to do? I don't have to show it. Shut up. Or the guy, Kyle's,
yes, there we go. Yeah.
Or the guy who's so goddamn awesome. Here's my description of the guy who's going to chew someone out at a restaurant. I will guarantee he's wearing a golf shirt.
Yep. Going to drive a BMW. He's going to have a Beamer.
Beamer, no signals.
Yep. No signals.
Beamer, no signals.
Yep.
And he's got to say, do you know who I am?
Yeah.
No.
No, he won't say that. He'll say, do you know who my dad is?
Oh, those little turd bags.
Yeah.
Those are the ones.
Those are
the ones that just go off on people because daddy has wiped his ass till he was 42.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Trust fund babies almost.
Now let's describe the female equivalent of both of those situations.
Well,
The
you've
girl-
got the Karen hair.
The bob, the very
Yep.
aggressive bob.
Yep.
Highlight here like a
Yep. Probably got Uggs on or something.
ooh, good call. Uggs.
I want to say Stanley, but no, they won't be wearing. They won't have a Stanley. They would have.
No, that'd be the
What was that? What's that other one that they would? A Yeti, if anything.
the Yeti and a lot of rings.
Yep.
Seems like there'd be a lot of jewelry happening.
A lot of jewelry, a lot of bling, probably a lot of makeup. You know,
And the not ill-fitted pants that they pull up to their armpits.
Oh, the fake Gucci.
Oh, the
accessories.
gucky bag.
Yeah, the gucky bag. Contigo. There we go. Yeah,
The gucky bag of the chinos, the Stanley Cup, and let's go with the female Chad. I'm guessing driving dad's car,
probably, or the boyfriend's truck.
Ooh, the boyfriend's truck.
Yeah.
Driving the boyfriend's truck. I'm gonna guess she's wearing something that doesn't quite fit perfectly.
Yeah, probably.
And slippers. Those goddamn slippers.
Oh.
What am I drinking tonight? Oh, sorry. Because we're talking about respect, I decided to drink something that demands a little bit of respect, and we're going straight up Jim Beam bourbon tonight. Because that's a whiskey that deserves some respect. Did your volume just shut off, Jay?
Yeah, sorry. Taylor was here, so.
Oh, hey Taylor, how's it going? You respect your mother?
Simpson says hi.
I do say hi.
Yeah.
So the girl would have. I have this feeling it's one of those shirts that doesn't have the back.
Yes, absolutely. But she would have the bra.
Not necessarily. The shirt would be holding on for dear life.
Yeah, or be the bra at the back. You'd probably have like you get those bras that are made for those shirts, and then she would not have that.
Right. And shorts like jorts that are like really and
style. Yeah.
My boyfriend's blah 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 blah. Like your boyfriend's in the drunk tank right now, so that's why you're driving his truck.
Yeah.
Or my dad will block the person that calls dad crying. Oh my god, I got pulled over for no reason. And the dad comes on, it's like, what are you doing to my daughter?
Yeah,
we got to stop
exactly.
fighting our kids' battles. Like, I believe that I ate shit multiple times as a kid because I screwed up.
Yep, and you got your way out of it one way or another. I mean, the general rule of thumb is as long as you're not dead or in jail, you're pretty good.
Here's the thing. My boyfriend's name is Kyle. You don't have a mysterious bruise on your left arm, do you, from being in the passenger seat?
That's awesome.
But
here, ask AI, what would a Karen wear? Okay.
Oh!
Most natural dyes come from plants, bark, leaves, and roots. So like the dark greens and browns and stuff. Unusual colors is long and difficult. Unmarried women wear a long white dress with patterns on the chest and long hair hanging threads, long threads hanging at the bottom. Married women tend to wear a sarong sleeveless shirt that is usually black. What?
Okay, no, you're right. I would say your younger female version of a Kyle or a Chad.
Yeah, that's what ChatGPT says.
Okay,
what else is he? Coach and Target.
Coach, the Target boutique.
Target, yeah.
But you're right. Your Karens would have the very floral shirt.
Yeah.
And the big gaudy rings and bracelets and all that shit. And you're right. Your did we say Mackenzie with an H at the end? Would have black.
Karen, there's a Karen national flag. So
get the hell out of here.
Yeah, it's from the Karen Organization of Minnesota.
That's a thing?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
What does it look like?
I don't know. It's see if we can find it. It doesn't show it.
Oh, I'll find it. Hang on.
I don't know what this is. Is this a joke?
I'll tell you in a second. If it's a thing, we need to order one.
Karen national flag.
Oh, is there a country called Karen?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
The flag of Karen, National Union. Okay, I thought it was like for the ladies that want to talk to the manager.
So was I. I'm surprised there isn't one. I got.
We could make one.
You could make one. Yeah. I'll ask ChatGPT. Can you make a national flag for
The Karens of the world.
the Karens of the world.
So imagine if we designed one of these things.
That'd be great.
Oh my God, they'd be on back windows right next to their stick figure families.
Okay, okay. It's even got a motto. It gave us a motto: Vocare procuratorum. Call the manager in Latin, and customaris semper rectum. The customer is always right. Make it an image of it. Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. I'll get it up here once.
Can you share your screen, or can I only do that?
I think only you can do it. And I'm
that
to my
sucks.
computer, but I'll spin my computer. I'll spin my this around towards.
The Latin for there's a Okay, so Latin for I want to talk to the manager.
Yeah.
Latin for the customer is always right. Holy Christ, we can start a thing here.
This is okay. Oh, I don't like that one very much, but here, hold on. I'll flip the camera around.
No, you're still there. Oh my God, bro! You
like,
gotta print that.
I can print it out. It's the Karens of the world, Vagare Profitorium, or something like that. It's supposed to say Vocare Procuratorium. Make it better.
That's awesome on so many levels. The haircut's perfect. I see I am through the shop. I made a Karen list, which has a band list that spreads out. That's hilarious.
Make it better. Let's see. Karen list.
So Darren, you got a Karen list, which I think is awesome. We need to make a Karen flag.
What?
Like, here's like, even if we just did those Latin phrases,
yeah,
we could sell that shit.
Here's another one here too. Absolutely, here. Like
oh my God.
Yeah.
What's the translation? What's the translation?
The translation is let's see, where is it? Call complaint excellence. Call complaint excellence.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's great.
I feel bad for all the Karens we have in our crowd, but I don't think we have a Karen. Tash is not a Karen.
Make one for the Chads or Kevins. What do you call them? What's the opposite?
I think Chads.
What is the male equivalent
of a Karen?
Yeah,
it's got to be a Chad. Tell me it says Chad.
Oh, it's a whole bunch of them. Ken, Greg, Gary, Chad is one of them. Yeah,
Gary's the guy with the golf shirt. That his scotch wasn't cold enough. RCM through the shop. I would love to see a Karen list. Could you imagine? So is that discriminatory?
All the same haircuts.
Richard. Yeah, the haircut is I've given up on life and this is as good as it's gonna get. The guy that hasn't changed his hairstyle in 30 years, that's the guy.
Yep. Oh well, God, this is not really what I was expecting for Chads of the world, but
oh my, there's a Chad.
Yeah, that doesn't get much more Chad than that, does it? Eh?
What is the translation to whatever the hell that says?
I don't know. I'll get to figure that out. It's all reversed. Hold on.
So I actually feel bad because I have an amazing client named Karen. Okay, I'm not saying that everybody named Karen is bad. It's just that there are Karens in the world.
Yeah.
To Kyle.
Kyles of the world.
Did we ever go on a tangent? But this is disrespectful human beings that we all live with.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What do you got?
This is terrible.
What's terrible?
It's coming up here. We're just. This isn't even racist. What is this?
I don't know if it's. I mean, because the Karens and Kyles can be.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, is that a Monster Energy drink?
It's a Monster Energy drink. Look at that.
Fortis et
irrationalis.
Oh, we got to make hoodies that are. It's a Monster.
It's like that's the thing. It's we would get sued for that by Monster for that one. It's
That's
like, look, it's not.
exactly but that's exactly what punches the drywall punchers. I'll tell you a
Oh,
story. Back in the day, there was a girl that I knew who dated basically a Kyle. And this dipshit decided he was going to get angry, and to make things better, he punched something. Thank goodness it wasn't the girl.
right.
But you know those little sunburst windows on your front window?
Yeah.
Your storm, like your window, your front door to your house, there's usually a window up there. This dipshit decides to punch it.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah.
Punched it. Now that is actually some pretty heavy duty glass. He went into it, severed all of these tendons.
Yeah, that's bad.
Surgery. He's got a strong hand now.
Yeah. That's some mashed potatoes.
I'll just stuff that turkey right here. You got to get right up in there. So,
oh my god.
You know what's funny? I can't, like, sometimes I have to write down my anniversary because I'm that guy.
Yeah.
But there's a reason for that. There's a good reason for it. But I can quote Tropic Thunder and Scary Movie and all this other shit. For some reason, that sits in my brain forever.
It's important stuff. It's more
well.
vital.
Here's what I'll tell you why my anniversary I mess it up, because technically our wedding was in Mexico,
right?
But technically we got married here first,
right?
JP, and because otherwise you have to do the blood test and all that in Mexico. So we got married on paper. Our wedding was there. So in my monkey brain, that's the day we got married. So I always think, okay, it was on technically Ukrainian Christmas, so it was on January 7th.
Right.
And I thought, okay, we went to Mexico the week later, so it must be the 15th. It's not. I always get it wrong. I believe it's the 20th. But that's where the confusion lies.
It happens.
But I can quote movies from the 90s all day long.
That's more important.
Oh, well, everybody
because you can get a calendar. You just like, all you got to do is just put in your calendar. You don't ever have to think about it forever. Right?
We have a shared calendar. You imagine if I put our anniversary on the calendar? Come on.
Well, you won't forget then, will you?
Sometimes I wish she would, because she puts everybody's birthdays on there. Like, could you please put our anniversary on there for the love of all that's holy? Please let me have this one.
You're not going to win that one. So
no,
you should tattoo it. You should tattoo it on your arm,
dude.
Roman numerals.
No. How come this? Why am I backwards? This is whatever. That our wedding date on the Mayan calendar.
Oh, okay. Does that help you?
No, because it's like how many million days from the dawn of time is our wedding date. But we got married in Mexico, so I got tattooed in Mexico with our wedding date on the Mayan calendar.
Fair. Okay.
It doesn't help. So again, wrapping up, we've got people that are
out here too. So
insanely. So we got kids that never learned how to respect anybody, parents that feed this bullshit, and society that doesn't correct this bullshit. How do you fix it?
Well, you gotta actually just decide to do what you can to those around.
You know what? And raise kids that are respectful.
That's
be respectful as parents.
You can only impact the people that you're directly in contact with.
Right. So our kids will mimic and mirror the responses that we give them. So like I said, when Gage went up to that kid and said, finish that sentence, I couldn't be more proud, because that's the right way to do it.
Exactly.
Put a mirror up to their activity.
But if you were the type who would just yell and scream and throw things around, you can expect that's going to be a similar behavior that's going to be copied.
Oh, absolutely. Like
imitation is severe form of is the most sincere form of flattery, right?
Sincere form of flattery, but there are times when also I have to ask, where the hell did you learn that?
Yeah.
Because it sure as hell didn't happen in our house. Like, you raise your voice to your mother.
Yeah.
And I'll ask, have you ever heard me do that? No. Then this is not happening in this house. What do you say right now?
My daughter did that a while ago. She was raising her voice at me and getting really snotty. Not you, Taylor. The other daughter. Right? Yeah. And I don't know if you remember that, but that I lost my mind and I yelled at her with the dad voice. And she was really upset, and she stayed in her room and cried for a while.
Right.
And then she was very nice for a long time after that.
Well, because the last thing our kids want to do is disappoint us, right?
Yeah, they want to poke you. They want to poke you.
Oh, dude, Gage decided. Did I tell you this last time? Did we talk about this? Where he decided he wanted to punch me.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah.
Anyway, he was doing this fighting thing where and I was like doing the whole Neo Matrix thing. I'm like
Yeah.
swatting his hand away. I go, if you really want to hit me, go for it.
Yeah.
I'll give you one shot. Take it. He's like, I don't want to do it. I'm like, no, this is a good lesson for you to learn. Go ahead, wind up, hit me as hard as you can. It took about 5 minutes, and even like Kelsey's like, just smoke him. Okay.
Yeah.
So he winds up and lays one into my gut.
Right.
And his reaction was, why is your stomach so solid? Like so hard? I'm like, well, this is what happens when you hit somebody, kid. There's a good chance you're going to hurt yourself. Like his hand was hurting, but like I'm pretty solid, right? So I'm like, this is what happens. You think you can just hit somebody and they fall down? You're going to get hurt.
Yeah.
Don't forget that. And it was a lesson to be learned, right?
Yeah.
So there's always going to be consequences.
You're so tough until you can take a punch or even throw a punch.
And you know, it doesn't matter how many you can throw. Can you get hit? Can you get hit?
Yeah.
Right. And I believe that if you're going to run your mouth and someone hits you for it or punches you for it, and I'm not saying that anybody should assault anybody, but the reality is if you push someone to the point where you're asking for it, expect to get it. And that's the price you're going to pay for being a little tool.
Exactly. Taking a punch is a certain skill. It hurts, and people don't like that. It hurts your ego more than anything ever, right? Because you're shocked, you're jarred, and you just don't really know what to do, right? But I would also say for a lot of people, if they had the opportunity to full on punch a person, they would be completely unable to do it.
I believe that you're right. And it's just like the person that says, if someone ever broke into my house, I had X, Y, and Z. No, you wouldn't.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't.
No,
you'd hide. You would absolutely cower away.
Yeah.
You would grab your kids and try to get away.
And I go with the example that my parents live in Texas before my father passed away. My mom's in Texas, but I remember my dad was down there and everybody there is packing. Everybody there has a gun.
Yeah.
And he said, well, I can't buy one here because I'm Canadian. But I mean, I hunt, I have firearms back home. Should I borrow like a shotgun or something out of my house? Guy looks at my dad dead in the eyes. He goes, could he kill a man today? He's like, I don't know. Then absolutely not. See, there, the culture's different. Without question, boom, it's done.
Yeah.
And anybody that says if someone ever did X, Y, or Z, I would absolutely. You know what? It's not in our nature.
Yeah.
You're not going to do it.
You're socially trained not to do it.
Right.
You know?
Would I absolutely protect? Yes.
Yeah.
Could I take another person's life? No. You couldn't consciously do that.
Yeah.
It's not. So there's consequences for that. There's consequences for everything. And I think that if someone wants to act like the tough guy, like I'm going to do this, if this ever, no, you won't. Like, let's just stop that. You would do a lot, but you wouldn't do that.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
But no, I think
if anything, you would do anything in your power to avoid doing that.
I mean, things can accidentally happen. And I understand that. You could accidentally, like, let's just say someone got tackled through the top floor window of my house. Well, there's a chance that something bad could happen, but it would have been a one time, oh my God, what happened? And you'd feel terrible that you did it. No one's going to feel good if they do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
But we live in this society where we believe that whatever we do is justifiable, no matter what it is. And that's not right.
No, exactly.
And someone's going to come to your defense and say,
well,
it's a fantasy world. We grew up in that time where no one's coming to bail your ass out. No one's coming to save you. Look after yourself and don't get into shit.
Exactly.
And don't write a check that don't let your mouth write a check that your ass can't cash.
Yeah.
Don't do that. And by today's standards, if you went back 20 years, the behavior that we're seeing now would have never flourished the way it is now.
No, it quite simply wouldn't have happened. No.
So, hey.
And COVID escalated that, absolutely. So,
but it was over fast. Like, if you did something stupid and you paid the price for it, it was over. You got humbled. Maybe that's what's happening. Maybe people aren't being humbled the way they used to be.
Too many safeguards. Right. Too many things to prevent people from healing. And to be fair, getting your ass kicked is a failure.
But you had it come and you brought it on yourself.
Exactly.
You're not the victim if someone whoops you because you decided you're going
You're
to
a little
grab his
asshole.
girlfriend's
Yeah.
ass.
Exactly.
Right. But no, I think that if there's no solution other than raising your kids right and seeing what's happening. If we dismantled the last 15, 20 years and made sure that our kids didn't act like that, that's a huge help. And you're 17, 20, and 21. And you know what? They're old enough now where I think I believe you would have led by example, Tasha, that they can't get away with this shit. And they shouldn't try to.
Yeah. Nowadays, people sure as hell try, which is unreal.
It's unfortunate because the reality of life's going to hit you right between the eyes and you're going to realize, oh shit, maybe I'm the problem.
Yep, exactly.
But
that's funny. Anyway, I got to run, man.
We're going to go, guys. Thanks for hopping on and letting us.
Tomorrow, unfortunately.
I work tomorrow too. But guys, someone's got to do it. Must be nice to be the boss, right?
Must be nice. Work whenever you want, right?
Right. And when you don't want, that's the thing about being the boss.
Exactly.
You got to work when you want to. That's the key thing. Yeah. Right. But hey, guys, thanks for hopping on. I don't know if we covered. Well, you know what? We got to blow off some steam, which is pretty much what we do. I think that's kind of the theme of our
Fridays are all about, right?
The theme of our stream is let's say everything that nobody wants to say. But
let's be offensive and try to piss people off.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Be a decent human being. Don't be an asshole. Don't be a Karen. If someone screws something up, it's an accident. Unless they're actually really shitty at it, then just don't go back there. Easy as that.
100%.
So, okay, guys. Have a good one. Jay, take care of that cold.
Have a good night.
Let's
do that. We'll do an MSG challenge soon.
Take a keep up of MSG and see if that clears you up.
Yeah, we'll sure do it. Cool. Good stuff, man.
All right, guys. Have a great weekend. Talk to you again. Bye-bye.